Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what is up, people? Is my mic on? Yes, it is. Okay, what is up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing good. Welcome back, Wed Thur. What is up? Hope you're doing good. Moch, as always, big up. Welcome everyone on the stream. Moy, hope you're doing good. Good morning. Are you still in your NZD trade? I'm planning to enter now, following trendline at H4 reaction. Yeah, I've just been stopped out of well, I got stopped about a few hours ago, but I'm looking to get back into this one. I was hoping that we can get that hourly candle close to close above this high of that candle, but we didn't. So I'll be waiting for the next candle. So hopefully could enter the trade within the next hour or so to go back up again. We're actually coming into that second area of interest, which we pointed out coming into the week. Again, if you haven't checked out my Telegram or the Trading View profile, feel free to go and check it out. I do post updates here. So where is UNZD? So yeah, we're coming into that second level now. Nice wick there. I really like the wick there on the full H time frame. Really nice wick into that level. So if I do get that next hourly candle close, I will look to enter and get back into the position. Second attempt, looking for another swing to the upside. I don't think I'll be too aggressive with the targets. If I can get decent risk reward back to the highs, I won't look for anything too fancy. Something like this, 1.25 or 1 to 3. I'll be more than happy with a trade up there. So yeah, we'll be looking to see what we can get on the next hourly candle for a push to the upside. If we can get a nice strong close, I'll look to enter something like that. Stop loss just underneath. Targets up to that level. I may look to push it further or just get out the trade completely up at that level there if the risk reward is decent. So yeah, still looking at UNZD and some of the other NZD NZD CAD, but some of the other NZD pairs have retraced as well. So they are looking good. NZD CAD as well, we're seeing some nice upside. It hasn't quite hit the level, so this one I'm not going to enter just yet. But if I do see some more upside into that level, I'll start looking for entries at 0.856. Again, another setup that we're talking about at the start of the week. And NZD CHF is starting to retrace as well. This one's got quite a bit of a way to go before I start contemplating any sells. But yeah, NZD CAD is looking good for some shorts, just a bit more upside, and UNZD is already in that zone. So I'll be waiting for some entry signals to get back into that position. But yeah, guys, welcome back to the stream. If you haven't done already, make sure you go check out the Telegram channel, like I said. Link to that in the description. I do post my trades there, watch list, videos that I do create there. So feel free to go check that out if you haven't done already. Like always, any questions, any comments, or any analysis you want to share, just stick it down in the chat. We'll discuss together, and obviously I'll analyze the market and then share my analysis. If you are new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. If you are enjoying the content, and drop a like as well, it does help out the channel. And if you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link there to IC Markets. Feel free to check it out if you are looking for a broker. But yeah, guys, so UNZD and NZD CAD are probably the main pairs I'm just focused on right now. Euro pound as well, that's got a little bit more of a way to go to the downside, but Euro pound, I'm looking at buys from this area here, have some nice confluence. So Euro pound, if that can make its way down a few more pips to the downside, I'll start looking for some entries on that one as well. Again, really nice structure here. Obviously got the low, higher high, higher low, big higher high. Looking for a nice correction, bounce to the upside, potentially back to the highs up there. So that's what we're looking at for Euro pound, and we're coming into the vicinity of those entries. So Euro pound is looking good as well. NCHF need a little bit more from that one before I start looking for any opportunities. Silver and gold quite far away still. Silver still looking at this retest there, or even higher up at these areas here. So silver's still got a bit of mileage to go, and gold is still kind of correctly moving up, but again, it's nowhere near where I want to place my entries, so we need to sit tight for that one as well. But we'll see how they go. I'm interested to see what happens with the DXY pairs, the dollar pairs, I mean, because DXY is an interesting area. It's rejecting it quite strongly, so I'm not too sure. We might actually see some retracement for them, which could actually help gold and silver push up and get my entries that I'm looking for. But anyway, welcome to the stream, everyone. Love, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. I'm looking for long UNZD as well. Nice trade. I guess a few people are looking for entries on UNZD as well, so hopefully we can get some entries very shortly for it, and hopefully we can get a move back to the highs up there as well, maybe even further as well. As you can see, the consistent high lows, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully you can get a fifth one there. Look for the entry target right back to where we came from, and then we might actually see the market explode to the upside as well. So there's a lot of upside potential for this one. I'm looking at the high over there as a kind of end target for this move. So there is a lot of mileage to the upside if this thing does really get going, or we could just play it safe back to highs. We could reject that again. But any which way, I am definitely looking at buys for USD. Hopefully, we can get entry pretty soon. We'll see how this next hourly candle closes in 42 minutes. So we've got a bit of time to wait before any entries. Sam X, buying or selling USD. I'm completely new to this, watching to learn. I'm looking to buy USD. I'm actually in the middle of creating some content for more beginners because, you know, a lot of the streams probably not too beginner friendly. I mean, some of them are when I go over some basic concepts, but with the way I'm speaking and probably the pace I go is probably not the best for beginners. But I will be creating some videos that are more introductory, you know, friendly. But feel free to obviously stick through the streams. Obviously, I'm just going through the market, share my analysis. You can probably pick up a thing or two as I go through. But yeah, USD, I'm definitely looking at some longs. And there's a few pairs I'm eyeing up. Good morning, Lucia. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. The US 30 or USD, we'll take a look. No problem. Amresh, what is up? What do you think of Euro AUD buys? Okay, we'll take a look. Well, similar to Euro NZD. Structure, maybe not so much, but we'll talk about Euro AUD in a second. AUSD to the downside, I do favor that as well. We'll take a look. CAD Yen, we'll take a look as well. Judith, what is up? Titanic, you still in any trade? No, I'm not. I just got stopped out USD early this morning, so I'm looking to see if I can get back in with another entry. A few other pairs I'm looking at, but been stopped to that position, so not in any at the moment. We'll take a look at Euro. We'll take a look at US 30 first. US 30, Euro USD, and I'll take a look at Euro AD as well. So US 30, we'll keep an eye on USD as time, as price action develops. But yeah, US 30, interesting for this one. Still very, very corrective, and it's still trading at that resistance. We did see a very minuscule sell-off, up at this resistance here. Yesterday we're trading in around this area. I said we might see some downside, but I'm not too sure how far. We could come into this level, or maybe even further down into those lows here. As we can see, the market only got that far before it started rejecting again. So with US 30, we can see the market is still very, very corrective, and it's trying to pick a direction for this one. If we can break through the highs of this trend line here and certainly break through the resistance and take out this high here, I do favor more upside for US 30, which could look to go join its other cousins, US 500, US 100, which has already seen a lot of upside with some really nice higher lows. Same with US 500 as well. As you can see, a lot of higher lows, whereas US 30 is kind of just stuck between resistance and support. So maybe we could actually get that break to the upside and actually get some really nice momentum back into US 30, because this thing has been very, very corrective for quite some time. So yeah, for US 30, I would say, obviously sells is still in that sellers territory, kind of vicinity. So it makes sense to be looking for sells, but I don't really favor it because of the amount of higher lows the market is making here, and the fact that we made another one yesterday is not a good sign. It means that we're most likely going to break through rather than reject the level. But of course, you don't want to buy there. You want price to break through first and then see a retest to look for any long opportunities. So I would say if you're looking at US 30, wait for a breakout of this, which could be pretty soon if that momentum sustains, and then look for some retests to go long. On the top side of it, which is around 34,150. If the market can get a successful retest of that level, I do think we can get some good trades there. I did say yesterday it would be nice if we were to get a bigger pull back into this zone here and kind of see that next kind of major higher low. We had one here, second one there, was looking for a third one, another drive, and then get the move. But unfortunately, the market was not wanting to do that, and now looks like it may be breaking to the upside. So next best place to enter is on the retest of it, break to the upside, retest. And yeah, look for that next higher low, and we could be looking to go and take out that wick all the way up the top there, which is where the last higher high is. So US 30, I'm kind of still neutral on this one, but if it does break through that resistance, I do favor some nice buys on top of it on the retest. and a push to 34,897, which is the highs there on the left. This would have been a really nice buy opportunity there, but it doesn't look like the market is going to come back down and test that area. If it does, then obviously we can look for some entries, but we may just pop through the level now if that momentum can continue. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for US30. Euro USD kind of still trading in that kind of support area. Price kind of having a nice little sideways dance up at this level here, which we did say, likely was going to cause some trouble for Euro USD. Potentially a pullback to the upside as well. If I do zoom out, you can see the higher lows the market is still making. 1, 2, 3, potentially 4. This market is still technically bullish yet. This is still our major swing low, which is still intact. So despite this heavy sell-off we've had, the market is actually still trending to the upside. I know we broke through this structure here, but this is more of a minor swing low. This is our more major, so that's more important than this one. So I did say for Euro USD there could be some nice buys here. If you are looking to enter Euro USD, maybe a nice break of this resistance here. Let me get this out of the way. A nice break of this resistance here on the top of that on the lower time frames, like 30, 50 minute could be some nice buys. But I would say you do want to watch out for this prior low, because this is going to be acting now as resistance. So obviously that price support, really nice move to the upside, broke through. Now this area here is going to be resistance. So this area would be a good place to take some profit, at least some partials, start managing the trade, something like that, because we could see some friction around there at 1.08200. So for Euro USD, buys do look good above this level here. This is where the 4H keeps rejecting. So, maybe like the 30 minute here or 15 minute even. If we were to see the market break through this, get a nice little correction back down again, take advantage of that range there to the upside. And just see what Euro USD does next. I mean, if you take a look at the DXY is having a very hard time breaking through this area here, which is what we're talking about since the start of the week pretty much. DXY pretty much mirroring Euro USD, pretty much the same thing, really strong support trend line. If I flip that the other way, you can see that pretty much is Euro USD. So yeah, the market's having a hard time breaking through that, and we can see the market came back up again last night, early this morning, rejected it again, and now seeing some downside. So we could be looking at the DXY coming back to retest this area, which lines up with Euro USD retesting this area here. So they're kind of pretty much in sync, doing the exact same thing. So push to 1.08165 looks pretty likely for Euro USD, just as well as the DXY as well. And then maybe from here we might see some upside, or we could keep crashing down. It's going to be completely up to DXY with this one. But yeah, that's my kind of outlook for Euro USD. On the lower time frames, I do think there'll be some nice trades. Yeah, if you didn't obviously enter around here, you probably want to wait for that level to break first. So yeah, hopefully that made sense there with Euro USD. Gold, Euro AD, AD USD, we'll take a look. CAD Yen as well. How are Ojo? What's up? How I'm doing? I'm doing good this morning. Hope you are doing good. My man from Nigeria. Hope you are well. AD CAD. We'll take a look. No problem. Tony Gold. What is up? Hope you're doing good. Captain Euro Pound. We'll take a look as well. That's on the watch list too. First, let me take a look at gold. So gold, like I said briefly, still looking at a bit more retracement for this one. 1900 is where I want to short from. Anything below that is just not what I'm interested in at the moment for gold. So I do like the shift in structure here. We had all these higher lows, big move to the downside, breaking through that. So now we're looking for that first lower high for move back down again. This is a very corrective move. So I'm looking to see if we can push up a little bit further, test this area here, or even this consolidation there. And then we'll be looking for some sales up there. And nothing too special, just back down to exactly where we came from. Excuse me, back down to exactly where we came from, which is 1862. So gold for me, bearish bias, looking to sell, looking to short. Just need to wait for price to get to a good area of value with some confluence, and 1900, 1910 is what I'm looking at for that. I'm not really interested in anything in here. just a little bit too corrective. There could be some nice buys, into that area, so you can take advantage of the retracement up. But again, that's not really my type of trade. So it's up to you guys what you want to do with that one. But 1900, 1910 is where I'll be looking at. So I'm not really interested in gold right now until we get there. EURAUD, so EURAUD asking for some buys. Yeah, I'm not really seeing EURAUD buys. USD buys make a lot more sense to be, at this level here. We've got these higher lows. The market's obviously coming into this structure here. So USD buys look pretty good. And as we know, USD and EURAUD are very, very similar markets. So, if you're buying USD, you're sort of buying EURAUD too, and vice versa. So, it makes more sense just to go and buy the pair with better structure and better structure and more clear price action. Whereas Euro AUD, is that support? Yes, so it does make some sense to buy. Obviously, you got some strong support here. It's kind of acting as support again. We could see a move reaction off that, so that does make sense. But apart from that, I'm not seeing much. The kind of structure is a little bit bearish here for EURAUD, as we can see. We could go bullish, but I'd rather wait for price to go bullish first and then look to follow up momentum after, rather than trying to anticipate anything here. So yeah, EURAUD's at support. It does make some sense to buy, but I can think of better opportunities in the market elsewhere apart from this one. So it's up to you what you want to do with that. Obviously, if you have a plan and this fits your plan, then obviously take the trade. That's the most important thing. But obviously, from my analysis, I've just got to talk from my point of view, and I'm not seeing much here. I'm not seeing much other than that level, really. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. CAD Yen, we'll take a look next. AUD CAD as well, no problem. Euro Pound, we'll do that after. Harley, what is up? Hope you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. Kingdom Gold, what is up? Welcome to the stream. I'm Besonia as always. Is it Julian? Julian, AUSD, yeah, we'll take a look. Actually, I'll take a look at AUSD now. So yeah, I'll take a look at AUSD next. YN Eddie. I'm just going to call you YN Eddie. Welcome to the stream. What is up? Hope you're doing good. Okay, so the AUSD. Yeah, I'm not too good with names, to be fair. There's so many names I know I'm saying wrong, but I try my best. Okay, so AUSD, looking for sales for this one. I love the price action on the weekly. We had a really big rejection, so I'm anticipating a lot more downside for this one long term. We had this lovely trend line coming in there. We just rejected it with that nice bearish engulfing, and a very key level of support as well, just being rejected too. As we can see, lovely rejection there, rejection, now flipped as resistance. So if you can hold this area here on the weekly, I do anticipate a big sell-off to the downside, back down to these lows, and maybe even further as well. So from a high time frame perspective, I do think we're on for a good move here. But I would say wait for a test of this level up here, which the market came into the level, but I want to see price come further into it. Like I was saying yesterday, I was looking for more 0.7. We've got the 0.5 lining up there as well. So I kind of want to see one more push to the upside. We didn't quite get that yesterday. We were kind of trading here yesterday, did see a nice downside move. So maybe now we can get that one more push into that level, some rejection, and then get the sell-off there for AUSD. We could potentially even come a little bit higher into this kind of area up there around the 0.618 with these wicks. That support level could be attacked there too. So that kind of gives us two areas of interest to work with. But in terms of direction, yeah, AUSL looks really good. We've had this lovely bullish structure for quite some time, and now we've broken through that structure, taking out that low, giving us a new low. Now we're looking for a new lower high somewhere for a move back down again. So AUSD shorts look good even from higher time frames, taking that information into the 4H. Now we're just looking for that pullback, anticipate that next lower high to sell it back down. We've got two really nice areas of interest, 1 and 2, and now we're just looking for that continuation basically, and those entries. So stay patient with AUSD because I do think there'll be a good trade coming for this one. You see a little bit more upside before, I would say entries are looking good to start finding some. Kind of will approaching that resistance, but this is where the most confidence is at. We've got a big psychological level, 50% on the fib, and a really nice support level term resistance there too, and even up there looks good too. So yeah, AUSD sells, something to keep an eye on. Obviously DXY is looking like we could see a bit more downside into this level here, so that could push AUSD up to, where is AUSD? I just lost it, I was on it, there we go. So it could push AUSD into this level or even further into that level, but I still do expect us to eventually sell off. So 2 levels of interest, hopefully we can get a bit more upside and start looking for some entries to take back down again. Okay, so CAD Yen will move on to CAD Yen, Euro Pound, CAD Yen, AD CAD and Euro Pound move on to next. Harley, what's up? Miko, what camera are you using? I don't even know. It's Sony Sun. I'm trying to read the label. It's like Sony A. Yeah, I have no idea. Bought it a while ago. It's something Sony. Yeah, I can't remember. If I can find the packaging somewhere. Oh, it's ZV. It's Sony ZV E10. Yeah, Sony ZV E10. I just saw the packaging behind me. What are the chances, eh? Yeah, I'm not really a type of camera technology type of guy. I just bought it so I could record videos. But yeah, that's the camera. Okay, so on to CAD Yen next. So CAD JPY. CAD JPY. This one was looking interesting yesterday. We had some really nice resistance. That price just broke underneath. I think someone is selling this actually. Can't remember who, but yeah, we broke underneath this level here, and the market broke back underneath the trend line. So basically, looking at a big fake out here to the upside, pretty much. I said on Tuesday, price action wasn't clear with CAD Yen because we potentially could have retested the level and actually headed north and started breaking through some key highs, higher lows, and then the buys could look good. But I also said we could break back underneath the trend line, back underneath the level, start retesting, and actually look for a potential sell-off back down to support. And as you can see, the latter has happened. So with CAD Yen, sales do look good. You can see the market's firing a lot of wicks into that level there. A lot of wicks. So that is back underneath resistance now. So I would favor a downside move. And the most logical targets you would probably be looking at is this support level here at 96,500. Obviously, the lows here do look okay as well. The market is getting a little bit corrective now. So we are starting to run out a bit of steam. So I wouldn't be too aggressive with targets. It is still a bearish trend, but it's not really a bearish trend that's in free flow right now. So yeah, keeping it simple, 96,500 is a good place to target. Even maybe this level here could be something to take some partials at. So we do have a bit of a range. We do have a bit of a range here, and this is kind of like the 50% level. So yeah, pretty much lines up with the 50%. So that will be a level of indecision. So this would be a good place to start taking some partials there, and then maybe leave the rest to run back down to lows. Or maybe even if you want to push the trade there, but obviously less probability. There's less of a chance we'll get there, and obviously 96,500. So it's up to you how you want to push that trade, but I do favor sales. You can see the market's back underneath that resistance. As long as we can stay below, stop loss above, I do favor push 97, then 96,500 for CAD Yen. Let me know what you're looking to do with CAD Yen, looking to buy, sell, let me know. AD CAD, then Euro Pound will move on to as well. Okay, so Big Bang, what is up? Good morning, hope you're doing good. Do you use fundamentals to back up your trades? No, I do not. I purely use technicals to enter and exit and manage my trades. I don't use fundamentals. I'll stay away of the high impact news, but I don't use fundamentals to back up anything really. You know, when I'm back testing, I'm using purely technicals to create an edge in the market. And you know, if I've got an edge, all my job is now is just apply that edge to my best of my ability into the live conditions. So fundamentals can be very good, you know, if you understand it well, and you can understand if you understand it well, you can apply that to your trading. But yeah, I don't. I just use technicals. So AUCAD is a similar opportunity to AUSD. It's a similar opportunity. I do favor AUSD a little bit more though, but they're pretty similar. We can see the markets come to, you know, another key level on the weekly time frame. Nice bearish engulfing, coming to that resistance. The market is going to make another, you know, rejection of this level, another high. Hey, thank you so much, Jade Lifestyle, for donating. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. It's been a long time since you had a donation. Thank you. Keeping me afloat here. I'm joking. Okay, so yeah, we're back at resistance. Lovely rejection of that level in the higher time frames, and now we're looking for the market to reverse basically. And AUSD and AUCAD are very similar pairs, so they're going to do similar things. AUSD, I prefer the opportunity a little bit more, but we kind of got the same thing. We've got a high over here, lower low, lower high, lower low. Market broke through structure over here, so now we're looking for the next lower high for a move to the downside. We've got a test there, second test there, and now hopefully the market could roll over from that level. So with AUCAD, long term, it could be a big sell-off, you know, back down to these lows if the weekly's going to play out. But we want to be, you know, safe than sorry. You don't want to be looking for the home run. Rather just take 2-3 trades as we go down, and rather than just take, you know, one big one with crazy risk to rewards, with the probability of it playing out extremely low. So yeah, AUCAD, I like this level here. Obviously retesting the price swing low, term resistance. Even if you do come a little bit higher, this level has a lot of confluence there too. If I take that across there, we've obviously got the trend line there as well. If I whip out the old Fibonacci, market's coming to that level there with the 0.768, just 786, just above us. So yeah, AUCAD looks good. Nice confluence at these two levels there. So waiting for some entries and price to come a little bit higher. Let me just brighten this up a little bit so you guys can see it better. So yeah, just waiting for some more retracement to the upside, which is a similar story with AUSD, waiting for a little bit more upside so we can get some better entries to sell it. And targets, play it simple, you know, back down to where we came from, this low, and even these lows here on the left could make up for some nice targets as well. Nothing too crazy, you know, take a trade and run away or something like that. So yeah, AUCAD looking at sells, AUSD looking at sells, pretty similar opportunities, so keep an eye on both of them. They'll probably do something similar. And yeah, these are my two kind of areas of interest. I do like this level up here actually. There's a lot of confluence there with the level there, you know, retesting that level. We've also got the trend line at 0.786, and we've got this area of supply which gave us a huge move back down. So I do really like that level up there, but again, the market might just tap this resistance on that prior low and then sell off as well. So keep an eye out for that. But AUCAD for me looks pretty good for a move to the downside. Okay, so we'll take a look at Jace Plays. Good morning. Go Eagles. Who's the Eagles? But yeah, go Eagles too. I have no idea who the Eagles are. Pound USD gold we'll take a look at too. I'll go to Euro Pound first because that's actually on my watch list, so I want to go through that one in a bit of detail. I appreciate the 4K. Yeah, I mean, I did buy it not too long ago actually. Not upgrading on the prior camera, and also upgraded the mic as well. Jezreel, how are you? What is up? Welcome to the stream. Jade Lifestyle, loving that kind of pear-shaped tennis player with the headband. USD CAD, FX, we'll take a look. Harley, watched your interview with Trade Nick from A1 Trading, and I was very impressed with your knowledge. Hey, much appreciated. I did that quite a while ago now. Can see the skills. Yeah, much appreciated. Yeah, I mean, that interview was a few months ago now. If you guys haven't seen it, go check out. It's on his channel. But yeah, just a little interview for his podcast. He interviews a bunch of traders on there. Got the call up. So yeah, it was good fun. So Euro pound. So yeah, this one is on the watch list. How's USD doing? Still got 20 minutes or so. Okay, it's seen some upside. Give me a nice little confident candle closure, and I'll enter the trade on this candle. Stop loss just below. Targets back into that zone there. Get back into the trade, and then maybe I might leave some to trickle there, because at that point, you know, if we are breaking through this high, there's a good chance the market will continue. So I might leave like 10-20% to run, depending how we move. If we move with a lot of momentum straight back in, then yeah, I'll leave it. If it's a corrective move up, now I'll just take my profit and run, really. Because this is a big consolidation. So if the market is starting to see some momentum, that means we could explode to the upside and start attacking these highs. So probabilities is fairly high, you know, if we do explode to the upside. But if it's corrective and, you know, lackluster, I'll just take my profit and run, really. So we'll judge that close to the time, but we'll see in 17 minutes or so if we've got a trade there. So yeah, Euro pound, I'm looking at longs for this one. I'm looking for us to potentially go and fill this wick here to the upside. If we do zoom out for Euro pound, we're actually in a huge range here. So we could actually be making our way to the top of the range, basically, which is this kind of area up here. And you can see the market's had a really nice rejection of below the range on the monthly, which is this area down here. So kind of the middle of the range. But if this momentum continues, I do see us heading to the top of the range. Maybe might react again, maybe might break out. You know, that's up to Euro pound. Doesn't really concern us at the moment. But yeah, Euro pound break to the upside with some momentum. I really like the push we've had recently. Nice impulsive move, a little bit corrective now. Formed a higher low, another impulsive push. Looking for another higher low for us to maintain that journey there to the upside. So with Euro pound, I'm looking at 0.88400. We have some nice confluence there. Pretty sure it lines up with the 0.618 as well. Trend line not too far away, but probably won't test that level. The trend line there, it's a little bit further away, but not to worry. If you still get some nice rejections here, I'll be more than happy to enter the trade. And targets, you know, keeping it fairly simple, just right back to where we came from, into the resistance. You could probably aim for the high of the range, which is probably around the 0.91 mark. So if I just map out the range again quickly on the monthly time frame. So got the high of the range there. So maybe if you're feeling a little bit brave, you've got the high of the range at 0.91. But yeah, if I can get a 1 to 3, there's no need for me to push it any more than that. I'll be more than happy just to lock in profits there and move on to the next opportunity. So yeah, Euro pound's looking good for me. It was on the kind of back seat coming into the week. So there were some other pairs looking pretty good. But I think Euro pound is looking pretty good now, so I'll move it back onto the watch list. Silver, I'm still looking at sells for this one, but I'm not too sure what's going to happen with silver. It could break to the downside, it could explode to the upside, it could continue to consolidate for the rest of the week. So we'll have to stay patient with silver, but I am looking for some shorts up here and over there as well, which is another dollar pair. So if the XY sees a bit more downside, hopefully that will kind of push silver and gold up, and then we can sell it later. But I don't know, silver is kind of moving for mind of its own right now. So yeah, I hope that made sense on Euro pound. Where am I? Julian, thank you for looking at the chart. No problem. Was also looking for sell around 0.7. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. AUSD does look good, so hopefully we can see a bit more upside for AUSD. Get to that 0.7, even the level. Actually, now I'm speaking about AUD CAD. But yeah, if we can see a push to 0.7, a lot of confluence in and around that area. You know, hourly time frame for some entries. I do think we can get some nice sells. And again, keeping it fairly simple. You know, push back down to this key level here. This is where the market's had a lot of rejection at. So that level here will make for a good little TP. So keep an eye out for it. I do think we can get some good entries. Pound USD, I'll take a look next. If I have missed out any pairs that you guys have requested, just leave it down in the chat again. Okay, so yeah, pound USD. We'll take a look. I'll take a look at gold as well. USD CAD. American football. I don't watch American football. Unfortunately, I only watch real football. I'm joking. So yeah, I don't really watch American football. I don't know any teams really. Maybe Rams. I have no idea. American football just looks like rugby to me. Obviously, I'm from the UK, so the two main sports here is kind of like football, rugby, and cricket. Don't really watch cricket. Don't watch rugby. Only watch football. Football and athletics are my favorite kind of sports. But yeah, American football just looks like rugby to me. Okay, so USD is starting to shape up. 12, 13 minutes left. We'll keep an eye on that one. But pound USD next. So pound USD, looking at some retracement, seeing some nice upside for this one. I have to admit, it's not my favorite pound pair. I mean, not pound pair. Not my favorite dollar pair to short. It does look good because obviously the market has created this huge level of resistance here, which has failed to break through. So if I map that out across there at 1.24, you can see some lovely rejection there. Failed to make some new highs once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Market tried to come up but failed to make some new highs. So we can see the market, is starting to struggle at those highs, and the sellers looking to take control. And if we take out this low here, we do have a huge double top pattern on pound USD. But for now, we've got all this momentum that the market's retracing. And like I said, this looks like a good level to short from 1.22, and even this low here at 1.23. Like I said, it's not my favorite dollar pair. AUD looks a little bit better than that. USD CAD can break for the highs. USD CAD looks a lot better. Gold and silver look a lot better as well. So pound USD shorts do look good, but I can think of other pairs that look better, which I'd rather trade than trade pound USD. But they're pretty much the same opportunity, so they pretty much do the same thing. If dollar is going to see some strength going forward, then pound most likely will fall unless it does something crazy. So yeah, 1.22 is an area to look, keep an eye out for. If the market does get to this area, obviously retesting this prior low here, if we go to the hourly time frame, nice little up move before NFP kicked in and we absolutely plummeted to the downside. No retest of that level, so this will be a good little level to start looking for some trades at and take a move back to the downside. So yeah, pound USD for me looks pretty good for some sells. These are the two levels of interest I would have if I was looking at selling this one, and obviously logical targets back down to where we came from. We've got this low here as well, which will probably make a lot of sense to target too. But if you can get a decent risk reward into this low here, don't have to look for anything too crazy. So pound USD, wait for confirmations at those areas. Again, I put the trade setups there, not necessarily for you to put limits there and orders there, but that's the kind of level there you want to start looking for some entries. So again, definitely wait for confirmations, but those two levels look pretty good for some lower highs for another move back down again. Let me know if you're looking at something similar on pound as well. Okay, so I'll take a look at gold now. Now move on to USD CAD as well. Okay, so gold, like I said, I do favor this one over pound USD. I really like the price action from this one. We were making those steady higher lows, but the market absolutely melted and broke through that structure. And now 1900, 1910 are my levels of interest. So all I'm doing is just waiting for gold to come up to these areas. There could be some short-term buys, in this kind of price action here. In the price action here, could be some short-term buys on the way up, to that area there. If the market was maybe to push down one more time, there could be a nice little buy back at support and take advantage of the retracement, back up again. So that could be a buy opportunity there on the lower time frames, but it's not something that I would look at personally. It does make sense because you can see the market is consistently making these higher lows. It definitely is very corrective behavior, but this is where the most probability lies. So you would expect the market to drift there. So it makes sense to look for the longs there on the lower time frames. But for me, I'm just going to stick to these 4H levels here to sell from. So if you are looking at gold, there could be some short-term buys to take it back up again into those 1900, 1910 levels where I'm looking for the shorts. Or you can just wait for the shorts If we get there, of course, we don't necessarily have to, but if we get there, the shorts will look good later on. So yeah, gold for me, bearish bias, but there could be some long-term buys, short-term buys on the way up there. Okay, so the USD CAD I'll move on to now. Pound yen, we'll take a look. Elaine. Oil, please, no problem. We'll take a look. AUSD as well. We'll take a look. NAS 100, no problemo. Gold, we just had a look. Orion, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Euro pound, yeah, Euro pound is looking pretty good. It is on the watch list for myself. I'm looking at buys down at this level here. So hopefully we see a bit more downside for Euro pound. I'm looking at 0.88400 for some longs and a push back to those highs there. I may not push all the way to the highs. If I can get a 1 to 3, 1 to 4, I'll be out of the trade. You know, if this is a 1 to 5 up there, sure we can target there, but I'm more than happy to take that risk reward and move on to the next trade. But in terms of technicals and from a analytical point of view, buys back to those highs make complete sense for Euro pound. So we'll be keeping an eye on that opportunity there. USD CAD, like I said, for this one, if we can take out these highs, I'll be more than happy to look for buys for this one. But the market is still rejecting this resistance, so I'm not interested in any buys just yet. I did have some analysis coming into the week for this one. I was neutral for USD CAD, looking at some buys and some sell opportunities. So as you can see here, this was my analysis coming into the week. Had a really lovely level going through the market there at 1.34. Had a lovely trend line coming there as well. You can see the market still making lower lows and lower highs. So this is where I was keen to look for some shorts. If the market was going to hold that level and come back down again, or if we were to break above, look for the retest to go long. And the market didn't give me any confirmations to sell. It kind of just broke through pretty early on. Then it started dancing here, then it broke back underneath, then broke back above, and that's retesting level. So it's being really, really messy. So I want price to basically clear this resistance now, and then I'll look for some longs to take it back up again. And USD CAD is just kind of dancing at that level. So I'm not looking to do anything with it. It could well sell off again. The market is still bearish. Like I said yesterday, it hasn't broken through any key structure. Thank you so much, MTV, for subscribing. Yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the analysis, please be sure to subscribe to the stream and drop a like if you haven't done already. And thank you to everyone who has already dropped a like on the video. But yeah, I said USD CAD hasn't broken through any structure yet, so we can't be looking for longs. I know with other dollar pairs, we've seen a lot of momentum, a lot of big structure breaks, some shift in trends, but USD CAD hasn't done that yet. USD CAD is still obeying this bearish structure here of lower low and lower high. As we can see over here, we've got the lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Now the market is back at that lower high and still rejecting it. So USD CAD could still potentially sell off back down to these lows here. So with this one, I do want to see a sharp break of that high, break through some structure, break through some key resistance, and then I'll entertain that buy idea there to the upside above 1.346. So for me, I'm staying away from USD CAD for now. I'm not really interested in selling the pair. If you were, then obviously some entries up there would have been nice. That ship has kind of already sailed. So you probably want to be patient again to see if the market can retest that level. If not, the sells, kind of have already gone. But the buys, if you do break back above, will be good. So yeah, USD CAD right now, still obeying bearish structure, still rejecting that level. Buys above 1.346 look good, and shorts below that look decent as well, back at that level, and obviously targets back down to that low, or even this low here too. So hopefully that made sense. Okay, so we'll take a look at pound yen next. Pound yen and oil. Okay, so pound yen. What's going on with pound yen? So yeah, pound yen for me is just a little bit of a mess here. I can literally draw a box around that price action over the past month or two, and all we've been doing is just moving sideways. So pound yen I have not really been interested in getting involved with. All the yen pairs apart from USD have been very, very chaotic, and I'm just waiting for more information with them. So Euro pound, I mean not euro pound, sorry, pound yen, you can see is making higher lows here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's also making lower highs, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got a market that's kind of contradicting itself. It's trying to go up, but at the same time it's trying to go down again as well. So when the market is doing this, I stay away because I need to have, you know, a clear cut bias when I'm trading the market, either upside or downside. I don't want to be thinking, is this going to break up or is this going to break down? I don't want to waste my time with that. I want to make sure that I'm pretty clear, okay, the market is going up, I can focus on buys. It doesn't mean that I will win every trade, but it just means that I know exactly where I'm expecting the market to go. It could reverse, of course, but I just got a clear direction, so I don't waste time with that. Whereas pound yen, the direction isn't clear. Like I said, this is pretty much consolidation. It's giving me higher lows here and it's giving me lower highs. It hasn't really made up its mind yet. So with pound yen, I'll be waiting for a clearance of this high here, break through that, then obviously direction will become a lot clearer. Or break through this low, and again, direction will be a lot clearer. Inside here is just a big mess, really. So pound yen, I would sit tight with this. On the low time frames, there might be something, but full H wise, hourly wise, I would stay away. I know this is quite a big range here. There's a bunch of pips to catch, and that's like 600-700 pips. But I don't have clear-cut structure or bias here, so I'm staying away, quite frankly, until I get something that develops that makes a lot more sense. So pound yen, I'll sit tight with this one. If we start breaking through some lows here, so the market starts clearing some lows, taking out this low and this low, then yeah, maybe a lower high will look good. Or if we start breaking to the upside, taking out a couple highs, then yeah, the retest of some structure, maybe this level here will look good as well to go long. Anything in here for me is a bit 50-50. So yeah, pound yen, nothing quite there just yet for me. And yeah, the rest of the JPY pairs are quite messy. CHF JPY, quite messy. Euro yen, very messy too. NZJPY, SADJPY, very messy. NZJPY quite messy there too. So yeah, we'll be staying away. Okay, so we've got a minute left before the Euro NZD hourly candle closes. If it closes like that, I will be looking to enter the trade. I will be looking to enter that trade and post it on the Telegram channel. So it looks like we could be getting back into Euro NZD. Where is my phone? So yeah, looking like we can get back into Euro NZD and take some buys to the upside for this one, because I was in the trade over here. Obviously did get stopped out. I was just moving sideways. Very, very annoying trade. But now it's actually a better entry price than it was before. Better risk reward as well. So hopefully we can get some good movement here to the upside. And I do really like this wick here as well. Okay, so that is decent. We'll look to enter on that trade there, on that candle there. Stop loss, so I have a few pips just underneath the zone just to give me a bit of room. And targets, I'll be looking at, let me bring it back down, back to that level there. I'll probably have first target, probably say, go to the hourly time frame, probably look at this resistance here as the first target. Decent risk to reward, maybe 1 to 2.5, so not too bad at all. Okay, so let me just enter the trade. Okay, bear with me. Okay, how many pips is that stop loss? 69.3, very generous. Okay, so let me take a photo of that now for the old Telegram. So if you haven't checked out the Telegram, please do go and check it out. Copy link, chart image. Completely forgot button to press there. Okay, so basically copy and paste that. So yeah, second stab at Euro NZD. Hopefully we can get a better outcome this time. If it does hit stop loss, it does hit stop loss. We'll take the 2 L's. It's only two losses, but the risk to reward obviously does make sense. So hopefully we can get a better entry. Wait, let me not copy and paste that just yet. Wait, what am I doing? How did I do it last time? Okay, let me just do it. Save chart image. Okay, bear with me guys. I know we're not learning too much over here, but okay, that's the first entry. Where's the second entry there? Okay, now I'm copy and pasting that. Okay, so this is taking longer than expected. Okay, and anyone who's entering the USD trade as well, make sure that you're using appropriate risk management and it makes sense to you not to enter it, because I'm entering the trade too. Okay, so hourly time frame. This is why it takes me so long to post entries, by the way, because I have to enter all these numbers and it takes forever. Oh, not mean that. Oh, days. Okay, let me edit that. That is awful. Okay, so Euro NZD 1H entry is at 1.69177. 1.69177. Stop loss is at 1.68484. 1.68484. 1.68484. First TP is at this level here, 1.699. 1.69900. And final TP, and again I might leave some to continue if it does look good when it gets there. 1.70970. 1.70970. So yeah, I think that is right. Oh, let me write the direction as well. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Okay, so that took a little bit longer than expected, but hopefully we see some nice momentum coming back into the market. So looking for more upside, coming to a very nice level there. We've obviously got the 0.618 rejection there for that big old wick, and obviously a lovely trend line here as well. From the start, lovely trend line rejection there as well. So looking for a push back to there, but like I said, I may leave some to trickle because there's a good chance we get there if we get good momentum. If it's sluggish, then I'll just take the profit there and move on to the next trade. But yeah, we've got second attempt at Euro NZD. Hopefully we can get some momentum coming back into that one. Okay, so where are we? I have no idea where I was last at. Okay, oil, NAS 100, we'll take a look. Eurocads, we'll take a look. Harley, how long have you been trading, Miko, and what trading books would you recommend? Loving the stream, and everyone should smash the like, much appreciated. Yes, I've been trading for roughly around 5.5 years, a little bit more than that now. So yeah, quite some time. I haven't read too many books on trading. Most of my learning and my education has just come from the charts, but some of the best books I've read is definitely Japanese Candlestick Patterns. I can't remember the author. If I can find the book, I'll leave the author in the chat. And obviously Trading the Zone, very good book for the psychological and the probabilistic mindset you need to have in trading. But I would say if you're going to read Trading the Zone, make sure you do have a strategy down first. Doesn't have to be a good strategy or doesn't have to be a crazy strategy. Indeed, it could just be a very simple strategy, but make sure you have a strategy that you've back tested and actually seen that has an edge in the market before you do actually go and read that book, because that book is all about thinking probabilistically, understand your psychology and your emotions and what you actually need to consistently apply an edge to the market. So if you don't actually have an edge, there's no point in reading the book just yet. Obviously, you do want to read the book, but not just yet. It's like having a driving license without a car. The driving license is pretty much useless if you don't have a car. So get the car first and then get the driving license. And again, when you're back testing your strategies, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be very, very simple. As long as it just has an edge, that's all we're looking for. And then you can use that book to help you apply the edge in the live markets. But yeah, most of my learning and my education has come from just experience and chart time, really. Okay, so oil, we'll take a look. So oil, I was looking to short this one. Well, I wasn't looking to short personally, but I said shorts will be looking good here. We did see a slight reaction, but the market is breaking through. As you can see here, we did see some slight reaction, some few wicks to the downside, but the market didn't last. It rejected it. Oh, it did that twice. Rejected it briefly, then the market eventually broke through and actually having a retest to continue higher. So with oil, I would say pause right now, because although the market is still pretty bearish, if you go through the higher time frames, we can see the direction for the market is still pretty bearish. Go to the daily chart, you still see the market still pretty bearish. We're still heading, to the downside here. It is still a bearish trend. However, we don't want to be too hasty with these shorts and just jump in just because we think the market is bearish. If we do look at the market a bit more objectively, you can see we actually are on a bit of a range here. So typically speaking, you want to be placing your entries up at these highs up here, where you've got a much safer stop loss and a much higher probability the market will fall. These areas are good, but now that we're breaking through them and actually using as support, I would probably hold off for a much deeper push to the upside now before looking at entries. And the fact that we do have a bearish market means that the sells up here do have a bit more confidence than just in the more typical range. So with oil, I'll keep an eye out for some shorts around 81, 82. We potentially could hit this level maybe and sell off as well. This is obviously an area of value. Reason being, it gave us our last up move to the upside and then we plummeted. So this level will have some type of reaction most likely. But because it is ranging, and I always say if you are looking to trade a range or within a range, it's better to be up high or down low, selling high or buying low. You don't want to be the people in the middle of the market, because that's where the most indecision is, and just most likely going to get stopped out unnecessarily. Thank you so much, Miraziz, for subscribing. Definitely said that wrong, but thank you so much for subscribing. So yeah, you want to be up at the high or up at the low. In here is where most likely you're going to get indecision and higher chance of getting stopped out, which is what we don't like. So wait for a push back to the highs up here. 82 is looking good. This level could be it could be the level that sends the market down, but because it's a range, I'll probably only focus my entries up there. Much safer stop loss as well. If you enter here, your stop loss is there. The market can still take the stop loss, tap into the highs, and then go down. So up here is a much better entry in terms of safety and just of logic. But yeah, this level here at 80 could give a good reaction as well. So I hope that made sense for oil, but I'll only be looking for shorts for oil. The market's still pretty bearish. NAS 100 and the ADNSD first, and we'll take a look at the NAS 100. Okay, so ADNSD, we broke back inside the range last time I saw this one. So yeah, we broke back inside that range. We had a lovely little range here. The market was stuck underneath some resistance, rejecting some support, and then we broke above, but the market didn't last. So it broke above and came back in. So this is our textbook fake out. The market has resistance, fakes the level, comes back in. We expect the market to probably push that down to the low of the range now, because this will be taking out stop losses here, getting some people caught in some buys on the way up as well. So now we expect the market to probably fall back down to the low of the range, and we'll see what happens from there. But with ADNZ, it's still a bullish market, so I wouldn't be too aggressive with the sells. You can still see the high lows the market is printing here. We are coming up to some nice areas of resistance, yes, but it is still bullish. So if you are looking for some longer term sells, I'd wait for some structure to break, basically this low here, and then look for some lower highs on a bearish move. These would be much higher probability sells than looking for, you know, any longer term sells in this structure here. So keep an eye for these setups here for ADNZD. If you do have a sell bias, of course, buys, you want to be focusing on that support, but something like this could look very, very good in the long term. So with this one, we're kind of trading in the middle of nowhere now. So you either want to see the market drop down and break through the low, or pull back up into that resistance, 1.09700 to be a bit more exact, and also 1.08800 to be a bit more exact as well. So keep an eye on those two levels. We've got a fake out there, so would expect the market to fall over naturally. If you do get back above the level again, that's when it gets a little bit messy, and I'll just leave it alone, because at that point you might just be consolidating within another consolidation. But if you do get a successful test of this level, and what I mean by that is just a strong rejection, that could be a nice entry signal, maybe on the hourly there, to take it back down to the lows. And if we break out, we might get that reversal. But we're a long way from that right now. So with ADNZD, shorts look good up at those highs from the retest of that level. If it doesn't retest it, then you want to wait for the break of the lows first before any shorts. But yeah, that's kind of my outlook for that one. NAS 100 will take a look now. EuroCAD will take a look too. USD fell, but I'm pretty sure EuroPound will get us the bag. Yeah, EuroPound's looking good. EuroPound's looking good. And again, trading, you don't want to be too what's the word? Too predictive. Probably the wrong word, but it does make sense, because you know you don't even think, okay, Euro pound will get us the bag, because it doesn't have to. It literally doesn't have to. That trade could fail as well. You know, the harsh reality of trading is that every single trade you take, doesn't matter how good the analysis is, doesn't matter how good the setup, the opportunity, the entry, doesn't matter anything about that, the trade could always fail, which is a very harsh reality, because as traders, we're always looking for more information, we're always looking for the best setup, we're always looking for more confidence or the better strategies or whatever. But whatever you're looking for, you're kind of chasing something that doesn't exist, because whatever strategy or how good the strategy is, you'll always take a trade that has the possibility of failing, which is, you know, quite ugly, since, you know, us humans, we love certainty, and in trading there just isn't that certainty. Obviously there's a certainty of the edge, because if you do have a statistical edge in the market, then there is a certainty. If you apply that edge successfully, then you will come out in profit, of course, but yeah, the certainty from trade to trade is not there. So you just have to keep pushing them, keep taking the trades. Some will fail, some will win, some will hit break even. But yeah, EuroPound might not get us the bag. It looks like it will. It's a good opportunity, don't get me wrong, but it might not do that. Okay, so NAS 100 will take a look now. Okay, so NAS 100, as you can see from the arrow, we do have a bullish bias, a lovely bullish trend here as well. Consistent higher lows, so everything is looking pretty good. I did say yesterday some longs will be looking good back down at this area here. Obviously, we didn't quite get there. I also said a second area we could look at is the breaking retest of the range high, which we did get early hours of the morning slash last night. So with this one, I'm still pretty bullish, but I wouldn't really be looking for any longs in this area. I say that because we're starting to struggle at the highs. We've got the high over there, another lower high, potentially another one there as well. So really and truly, I would like to see a move back down, and the buys down here will be a lot better, in my opinion, for NAS. So we do have this bullish trend here, which has actually exploded to the upside. If you do have a deeper move here, take out some stop losses. underneath this level here, test that stronger level, and then get the move to the upside. That'll be a really nice entry. Nice setup there as well. But yeah, I'd only be looking for buys for NAS. US 100, I'd only be looking at buys for this one. The next lower high in the market is over here. You know, we have broken through this trend line, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we have broken through that trend line. So we could be looking to make our way back up to 13,600 and retest that high. But yeah, the only buys that make sense to me is this level here, 12,226, 12,200 we'll call it. Yeah, this is the only level that kind of really does appeal to me. Any buys in here might be short term. So on the lower time frames, we might see another reaction, but I'm only going to do this and then come straight back down again, because we are starting to create some low highs here. They're high lows too, but it's kind of getting into a bit of a wedge pattern here, kind of squeezing, which is not the best pattern to trade. So yeah, I'd wait for a deeper move for this one, retest some lows here. 12,200 look good, and then we might actually catch a really nice swing to the upside, another bullish run for it, and obviously target simply, you know, back to highs, nothing too special. Could go a lot further into that 13,600, but probably get decent risk reward into that high anyway. Okay, so EuroCAD. I don't think I missed out a pair. EuroCAD will take a look. No problem. I'll take a look at S&P as well. Pound USD John, no problem. Do you place limit orders or just market execution? Always market execution. I do not use orders. I always use market execution. I always have done, and it's purely for that reason. It's not because limit orders and cent orders don't work. Many traders who use that, but I've never actually traded that because I never really learned it myself. So yeah, I just stick with market executions. Candlestick patterns, you can't really predict a candlestick pattern happening, so you've got to kind of use, you know, market execution. So yeah, that's how I trade. Okay, so we'll take a look at what pair is it? Completely gone off the top of my head. EuroCAD, that was it. So I've got EuroCAD. I'll watch this, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I do. So yeah, EuroCAD seeing some upside. This one has broken through those lows there. EuroCAD is an interesting one. It's an interesting one. It's a market that has been on a crazy bullish run. It's quite overextended. It's come into some key areas where we could look to topple over and form another major lower high. So that possibility is in question. We haven't really had any signs of reversal though. We've got a high, we've got a low. Now the market is create a higher high. It's create some equal highs up here, so it's obviously failing to push through. But the market is still bullish. Very, very corrective, very, very weak at the moment, but it is still bullish. So buys for EuroCAD did look good coming into this level here, into this level over here, which you just tapped into. Now pushing back up again. So I think for EuroCAD, there may be some temporary sells, but I wouldn't be too greedy with them, because I'm not really seeing any good kind of bearish structure apart from the fact that we have broken through these lows. So we might get a pullback, maybe retest this level here. So as you can see, key support there, key support, might come into this level, retest that resistance at 1.4511, and then maybe have another sell-off back into that same low. So this here could be a decent trade to take, and it probably has some nice fib confluence there as well. So if I do get this here, you can see 1.45 looks like a good level. It's in between the 0.5 and the 0.618 there is too. So you do have some nice fib confluence coming into that low. But apart from that, EuroCAD is still technically a bullish market, so I'd rather be looking for buys than sells personally. This would have been a decent opportunity. Sells look okay there, but I wouldn't be too greedy because it could just break through and start continuing bullish. This could be the next major higher low of the market, you know, over here, which could give us potentially a new high, and then maybe we might have another move back down. So yeah, keep an eye out for that level, 1.45. But big advice not to be too assertive with that one, because it's not really bearish just yet. Okay, so Hope that made sense for Euro CAD. S&P will take a look. Pound USD will take a look as well. Thoughts on gold and the news today. Gold, I'm still looking at some sales for this one. I'll go take a look at the economic calendar because I haven't done so yet. But gold, I'm still looking at some sales up at this level here, 1900, 1910. So I'm still looking at more upside. I did say there might be some short-term buy opportunities on gold down at this level here, 1873. This is where the market is starting to hold support. We might come back down again, find support, and then push up again. So on the low time frames, there might be a buy opportunity to take advantage of this kind of corrective pullback. But for me, I'm more focused on gold up at that level for some shorts. Let me actually go take a look at the news real quick. Okay, so economic calendar. Today is Thursday. Wow, the week's gone very quick. It's Thursday already. Okay, so yeah, we do have some jobless claims coming out in 2 hours, 7 minutes, 1:30 UK time. So yeah, I'm not too sure what we can expect from that in terms of predicting what's going to happen. Maybe some dollar strength, but I wouldn't bet on it, as in place your trade on that. So yeah, I mean, I want price to get here, so that's kind of me speaking from a hopeful perspective. I want price to get there so I can obviously sell it. Whether it will get there or not, it could potentially just sell off from where it is right now. But 1900, 1910 is where I'm looking for myself. So that's what I'm just going to look for, regardless of what happens with the news. If the news pushes us up or pushes us down, you know, I'm just going to be waiting for my sells there. If we do break to the downside, then so be it. I'll move on to the next opportunity. Maybe get another pullback, another lower high, and we take advantage of that. Or we might get a push up into these levels here, or into the 1910, and then get the sell that I'm looking for. So yeah, I'm not really looking too much on the outcome side of the news. I'm just going to stay reactive, and yeah, my bias is still short, so we'll be looking at that. Okay, so S&P, pound USD, will take a look next. US 500. Yeah, US 500 is similar to US 100. So US 100, we had the bullish move there. Market's starting to form some lower highs. It's not looking as healthy as it was yesterday. I was talking about this level here as being a really nice level to buy from. As you can see, if I zoom out, we've got these higher lows here. I did say if we were to come up into this level here, come into this level down here, this would be a nice little buy zone. Take some buys back to highs again. You can see the market is creating some liquidity underneath here. You know, if you can take that out, test the support, kind of like a bull flag opportunity, impulse, correction 1, correction 2, and then get the big move to the upside. I do like that opportunity there for US 500. So I'm still bullish on these guys because we are still consistent with these higher highs and higher lows. So I wouldn't be looking to short. Again, any buys in here don't look too high probability, just because the market's starting to struggle at these highs now. 1, 2, completely missed that. 2, 3, potentially 4. You know, the market's now having a hard time breaking through some highs at 41.60. So this is not the best sign for a bull. You want the market now to kind of come deeper, collect more buys, lower down, and then have another attempt at breaking through those highs. We may not even do that. We may just come to the upside like so. You may only just come to this resistance and then fall back down again. But at least if you do get a buy down here, you probably get a decent risk reward into that level. So you can just take your profits and run. If the market does fall over, it falls over. You don't necessarily have to look for push to highs or new highs. So yeah, S&P, looking at a similar opportunity to US 100. Hopefully another down move, take out those lows, get some nice buys down there, and another push to the upside. But for this structure, I'd only be looking for buys. US 100, only looking for buys. Still seeing higher highs and higher lows there. Pound USD, we'll take a look too. Okay, so pound USD, still looking at sells for this one. Again, it's not my favorite dollar pair, so I do prefer some other dollar pairs out there, particularly gold. You know, AUD looks decent. Silver, I even prefer silver to gold. But pound USD 1.22 does make a lot of sense. We've obviously failed at these highs. We've had a bunch of attempts at those highs. consistent failure really. And now we've had a really lovely impulse off the back of NFP. Now I'm treating this as just retracement. You can see it's even moving corrective, so that's a good sign as well. So if you can just push a little bit higher into that level 1.22, I do favor another move right back down again. You know, DXY, I do favor a push into this zone here. You know, that could help pound USD move up a little bit further as well. So that kind of, you know, gives them that kind of synchronicity. And then we can probably fall over, maybe something like that. So I do fancy pound USD sells. I do favor DXY having a bounce from 102.500. So that kind of lines up with all the dollar pairs, AUSD, Euro USD. You know, if Euro gets back to that level up there, nice little sell off potentially. Silver as well, back to this level, nice little sell off potentially. So all the dollar pairs are kind of giving me the same kind of price action here. Nothing just yet though, but something to keep an eye out for on the 4H at least. Okay, so okay, so we just did S&P, pound, USD break, but pulling back. How's USD doing? Still pretty much in the same exact area where I entered. It's not really doing too much. Is that hopefully we can get some momentum coming back into this one. Not too sure what the jobless claims could do, because dollar news normally just affects everything. So maybe that could start to affect my trade there a bit. Not too much to worry, got a fairly big stop loss. So hopefully you can see some upside momentum. But in terms of confluence, it's a really good entry and a really good trade. I love the wick down the 4H, this big wick there to the downside is looking very good. So I hope you can see some momentum coming back in. Obviously looking for a push back to the highs. But yeah, not much for USD for the past 30 minutes. Again, it's a bit more of a swing trade. It's going to take its time to play out if it is going to get there, of course. So it's not something that I'll check back and something the market's up here. That would be very nice, of course. Don't get me wrong. But you know, the average trade, average winner is like between a day and 2 days. So, you know, for the first kind of few hours, I'm not really doing too much with my trade here. If it takes a day to between 1 and 2 days for my trades to play out, I'll keep watching my trade. If I keep flicking back into my trade, it's going to drive me crazy. So yeah, it's got to let it do its thing. But yeah, pretty much still in the exact same place. Okay, I'll take a look at gold as well. Ryan, what is up? Miko, would love to see some scalping, educational content trades. It is much better to get in and out of a trade quickly. Yeah, I don't really sculpt. Well, I don't sculpt. I don't really sculpt. I don't sculpt. Never really had too much of a fascination about scalping. Obviously, it's very quick in and out, so that kind of does, you know, appeal to a lot of people because you just take the trade, you out the trade, you make a profit very, very quickly. Whereas swing trade, you've got to sit through and play it out. So from that aspect, yes, but obviously scalping is, you know, you have to be very emotionally intelligent about yourself, because scalping, everything is fast paced. You can make very stupid decisions very quickly and lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. I have done scalping in the past, but it's more just out of fun rather than me actually being serious. Yeah, I mean, there definitely is better people on YouTube to look for scalping education. I suppose there is some content I can create for it, but there will definitely be people who are actually scalpers who give you probably better advice on it. Are you looking to sculpt, Orion? Are you looking to switch to scalping, or do scalping as well as day trading or swing trading as well? Moya, how much percentage from your equity do you risk per trade? Always 1%, always 1%. I did risk 0.5% during November, December, January, because I was switching account size. So I did risk 0.5% just to ease myself in. But yeah, it's always 1%. Sometimes if things are going well, I will bump it up to 1.5, because that little 0.5 can make a big difference after a few months. But yeah, 1% is good because 1% is not too big where you start getting emotional about a few trades, and it's obviously not too small where it doesn't make a big enough impact in terms of percentage. So yeah, 1%, and it's a good habit as well. It's a good habit to have as well. Jade Lifestyle, loving the streams. You're crushing these analysis. Much appreciated, Jade. Much appreciated. Jade, are you only looking at AUSD, USD, or some other pairs you're looking at? Ami, what is up? Please check gold, no problem. Harley, Miko, are you a breakout trader or a swing trader? What's your preferred style? Well, a swing trader can be both. It can be a breakout and a swing trader too. Breakout is more of a strategy. Swing trading is more of a time scale that you're working with. So my style is kind of confluence based. I'm not really looking to do too much fancy work with the market. I'm just looking to play structure. It's very, very simple. How I trade, I just look for higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs. I just pick the best structure I can find and wait for the market to pull back to the most area of confluence to take my trades. Look for at least 3 signs of confluence. But yeah, there's not too much fancy work with it. A lot of my decision making and trading is just picking between the best structures to trade and the best markets to trade, because technically speaking, higher highs and higher lows and lower lows and lower highs, they happen everywhere in the market, but you need to be able to pinpoint which structures you're going to trade, which make a huge difference. If I keep choosing to pick really poor structures, then I'm going to get really poor results. So it's all about picking which structure to trade and then waiting for them to get to area of confluence, and then that's where I look to pick my trades off candlestick patterns. NZD-CAD is approaching that level. I will keep an eye on NZD-CAD as well. This is one of the pairs that I'm looking at coming into the week. NZD-CAD was on the watch list. It still is on the watch list. Whereas NZD-CAD, there it is. So we had a really lovely dump to the downside, looking for pullbacks into these areas, and it looks like we are starting to get that move. So NZD-CAD 0.855 is where I'm going to be looking for my sales. Got an entry slightly higher up as well if that level doesn't hold. But NZD-CAD shorts do look pretty good. So if you guys want to check out my trading view, feel free to do it. Just search my name up, Miko Aodu, Miko Aodu, should come up. But yeah, these are pretty much my trades looking to come into the week. Silver shorts up at that level. Obviously, silver just being consolidating the whole week, so nothing really happening there. USD-CAD's being very, very, very messy. Kind of waiting for it to clear the highs first before I do anything next. So need to put the pause on that one. NZD-CAD, like I said, looking for some pullbacks into those areas. GPNZD, I'm looking for some longs above that level. Right now, the market's still rejecting that level, so I'm kind of waiting for a break to the upside above 1.916, and then I'll look for some longs up into that resistance there. I'm not really interested in the shorts. It's very, very corrected now to the downside. I'm kind of waiting for a breakout now for pound NZD to the upside, and obviously Euro NZD, which is what I'm currently trading right now, into that same area as well. So those are the main setups I'm looking at. Obviously, if we add Euro Pound in as well, that one's looking good. Kind of a bit of a substitution for USD CAD, because USD CAD is moving a little bit messy now. So Euro Pound is going to be substituted in, which is looking a lot cleaner. So we'll be looking for some entries down here. Again, for this one, there's nothing for me to do right now. So I'm just going to pop a little alert right there, and that will notify me that price is in that area. A lot of trading is just waiting around, and we'll have to do a little bit more of that with Euro Pound. Oh, that reminds. Okay, so I'll take a look at gold. A few requests for gold, so I'll go through gold now. Realistically speaking, isn't 1% too small for a small account? Well, it depends. It depends what you're looking for, Chucks. 1%, if you have a small account, yes, it will obviously be small. But with a small account, are you really looking to make money? With a small account, my best advice would be, if you don't really have the skill to trade, learn to attain that skill using that small account, because having a small live account is actually very, very powerful, sometimes even better than having a demo account, because with a small live account, at least you've got that kind of emotional attachment to the money you have in the account, which is going to be a more realistic experience for when you actually do have larger funds to trade with. So yes, it will be small, your returns will be small, but at the end of the day, there is no successful trader out there who is living off a small account and flipping that consistently. It's just not sustainable. So it will be small, but the aim is to attain large capital and have the skill set to trade the large capital. If you don't have large capital, then your goal is should be looking to get that large capital. If you don't have the skill set, then your goal should be looking to learn the skill set. If you already have the skill set, then obviously looking to get the capital is your second. You can do that through a number of ways. But yeah, you're never really going to make decent money from small accounts. And even if you do have, like, let's say you have, let's say you even have £1,000, which is not even that small. £100 we say is quite small, but £1,000 is decent. You can do a lot of £1,000. You can buy a second-hand car. So even if you had £1,000 in your account and you made 10% on the account, you make £100. You know, £100 is not really life-changing money. So even though you've made very good percentage, 10%, if you did that on a big account, you know, you would have, let's say 100k, you just made 10k. But because you did it on £1,000, that 10% doesn't really mean much to you. So into the next month or the month after that, you're going to be a bit more aggressive, and that is just building up very bad habits that will eventually cost you the account. You probably blow it somehow. So my biggest advice is just use the 1%, because your goal is not to make money from the small account. Your goal is to actually just learn how to trade, and then you can go use profits from that small account, maybe to a prop firm or whatever. So yeah, 1% will be small, yes, but there is no successful trader that I know of who has a small account and is just risking a lot of money and making their money that way. So it doesn't make sense to go big. The goal of trading is to keep your money. You don't want to lose it, man. And risking a lot is a fast track to go and do that. But anyway, let me take a look at gold. So gold shorts, I've been through gold like 10 times now. Gold shorts look pretty good here at 1900, 1910. And I'm just looking for more upside. I did say there could be some short-term opportunities. Someone did point out to me that there's actually news coming up, which I actually didn't see. So there is actually news coming up. So do take that into account if you do get into any trades now, because obviously within the next couple of hours or so, maybe less now, there will be a news announcement. So if you're planning to hold the trade through the news, then obviously you need to be aware of that. If you're looking to take a quick scalp before that, then obviously you should be fine. But if you're planning to hold your trade, you know, any more than 2-3 hours, you'll be coming into the news. So you do want to make sure that you know what you're doing. So be careful with that. But gold, I'm actually just hoping for more upside. Hopefully the news can actually push it up and into 1900 and 1910. And from there as well, look for my sell opportunities, take it back down again. And as you can see with the risk reward, we're just looking for a push back down to the lows. Nothing too spectacular with gold here, and silver looking for pretty much the same thing. I'm looking to trade one of these two pairs. Whichever pair gives me the better risk reward or the better setup is the pair I will pick to trade. But I do prefer silver, which is why silver was on the watch list. But silver is a little bit slacking right now. Maybe it can pop to the upside with the news and I can get my entries, or could consolidate some more. I have no idea. But yeah, 23.1, 23.3 is what I'm looking for my trades. Okay, so where are we? If you are enjoying the stream, guys, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe as well. Check out the Telegram channel. You can follow me on Instagram as well, Miko Aodu FX, my name plus FX. And you can check me out on TradingView too, which is my name, Miko Aodu, Miko Aodu. Okay, so oil, we'll take a look too. Ryan, I want to generate some good capital so that I can go for FTMO funding challenge. Yeah, obviously that makes sense as well. That's what you want to do with your small accounts. There's no point of trying to flip the small account, because you will probably eventually lose it. So there's no real point of doing that. So build the skill set of using appropriate risk management for your trading, because that way when you actually do attain the funding account, you actually have the know-how on how to trade it with risk management. You don't want to be the person that says, okay, I want to risk 5%, 10% now. Then when I do get decent capital, then I'll use risk management, because you've already built up bad habits and you'd be prone to making, bad mistakes. Like, okay, I feel like this trade's got better probability working out, so let me increase it to 2-3%. Stuff like that will start creeping into your trading, which you just don't want, because that trade there could cost you the funding account. And there's no good in doing that. Okay, so oil will go over quickly as well. Omar, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Euro USD, no problem. Jade, yeah, those two pairs for now, and casually keep an eye out on pound AUD. Nice. Haven't looked at pound AUD, so we'll go take a look. Elmi, use JPY, please. No problem. We'll have a look. See. Lively, GJ, we'll take a look too. Tony Gold, no problem, my friend. Maganda, which is the best funding broker without limitations of withdrawal? Again, I don't trade funding challenges, so I wouldn't know the best one. Needs to do your own research on that. And again, it depends also with your style of trading. Some prop firms will be better tailored to you depending on your style, basically your swing trade, day trader. So you need to do some research into that as well. But I don't trade with them, so I wouldn't know. Okay, so oil, like I said, sales are looking good for this one, but we do want price to come higher. 82 is where I would start looking for my trades. This is for me just a huge area of consolidation. Come on now, there we go. A huge area of consolidation. So you don't really want to be trading in here, in this area here. This is all max area of indecision. Anything in here, very prone to stop losses and just unnecessary wicks. So up here, at least if you have a stop loss up there, sure, the market could take you out, but it's either going to do one or two things. It's either going to break out or it's going to be a fake out and come back in. If it does that, you can re-enter, and as long as you have a positive risk reward, you'll make your money back. If you enter here, I'll say here, you can get stopped out. Market could go higher. You could enter again and get stopped out again. Now you've got two losses on your account, whereas here we only have one if it did stop you out, of course, or you could just catch it on a dime and it just falls to the downside as well. So think logically when you're entering your trades, and definitely in range bound markets, focus at the extremes, at the highs, less susceptible to unnecessary stop outs. And even if it does take your trade out and just completely reverse, you can change your bias and take advantage of the retest to go in the opposite direction. But oil, for me, I'm still bearish. High time frames still in that bearish trend, so I would only be looking for shorts for this one. And like I said, 82 is where you want to be looking for your shorts. You can see on the daily chart how many wicks we've planted in this area. So many wicks. So if you do see another stab into that, you can anticipate some shorts there. Probably a nice down move, maybe even back down to these lows at best here. So oil shorts do look good, but I would refrain from trading anywhere here. It could work, but I'd rather wait for price to push higher. Okay, so Euro USD we'll move on to next. Let's take a look at pound AUD, USD JPY, pound yen. Lights off, pound AUD we'll have a look see as well. By the way, I will be live again later today. I do have another stream with Trader Nick and A1 Trading. So stay tuned for that. I'll post the link to the stream on my Telegram channel as well. But I will be joining them live later today at 3 p.m. UK time. Okay, so what next? Euro USD. So Euro USD, as we were speaking about this one earlier in the video, in the stream, I did say buys above here do look good. The market is holding onto this level quite well, as we can see with the trendline confluence 1, 2, 3, 4, and obviously lovely level of resistance. Now flip to support there as well, and we can see the market's had a really hard time trying to break through the level. So buys do look good, but right now the market's holding onto some resistance. So if you can break through that, the retest will be good. We did see an hourly candle close above that, It would be nice if you can get a 4H candle close above though, because the 4H candle just closed into the level, which is not a good sign. So if you can close above that level in the 4H and then look for the retest in the lower time frames, I think that would be a good opportunity. Right now, I'll probably just see how this next few hourly candles close, because if that closed back underneath, this is another fake out there, and we could actually start coming back down into the trend line, which could be a nice buy as well, back at these lows here, to take it back up again. So Euro USD, I'll be patient with this one, but would only be looking for buys up at these, down at these levels, and sells on the retest at this level at 1.08. We're looking for DXY to do something similar, come back down, test the lows, then maybe go and have another attempt to try and break through that. Could fall over again, could break through, start of a bullish trend. We'll have to see, but still looking at a bit more downside for the DXY, which does translate to some more upside for Euro. But at the moment, we're failing to sustain that break, so we'll see how that closes. Pound AUD will go through now. USDJPY as well, we'll take a look. And Pound Yen. So Pound AUD, what's happening with this guy? Jade, what are you looking to do with Pound AUD? Looking to buy, sell? Or are you just purely just keeping an eye on it to see how things develop? But yeah, Pound AUD for me, I'm still bearish, I have to say, because of the low lows and low highs. The market is still creating these, clear swing highs, clear swing lows, highs, low, high, low, high, low. So you can see the market is still in that bearish structure. It's starting to run out a bit of juice, I have to say, because it's getting a little bit more corrective now. You can see here we had a bit more mileage on us, but now we're getting a little bit more frequent pullbacks and stronger pullbacks as well. So it's a sign that the market is starting to struggle. But if I do flip to the daily real quick, we can still see the market is still obeying this level of resistance. Very key level of support, now flip resistance. So I would still have to favor bears or below key resistance and still creating lower highs. So I did say yesterday that if we did get another push into this zone here, this could be a nice place for some shorts, and it could be a nice place for some longs as well. If we do explode through on the retest, that could actually be a nice long back up again. So something like that looks like a good little opportunity for me. Stop loss just above the high there, and a push back into this level here looks pretty good too. We could go further as well. I've been talking about 1.72, I've been talking about 1.7 as well, but I think this level makes the most sense because we are getting a little bit corrective now. Could do something like this and then that, so you probably don't want to be too greedy with the TPs. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Pound AUD. Over here, not seeing too much going on over there. It's a bit random over there, but if you can see a move higher, come into that area value, another big wick like we've done here, there, and there would be very nice. Or if you break through on the retest, longs would be decent as well. Okay, so LME, USDJPY, Pound Yen, we'll take a look. USDJPY, we're discussing this one quite a lot yesterday. A lot of people were looking to trade it for some longs. If I can find it. There we are. So yeah, a lot of people were discussing this one yesterday for some longs, looking to catch the retest of that level over there. And I did say longs do look good at this level, since we've had a pretty substantial breakout of this corrective channel. Consistent lower highs for quite some time. 1, 2, 3, slight one there, 4. Price has broken through that level and now it's retesting that resistance there too. So I did say yesterday buys do look good from this zone. We did see some upside. It didn't really sustain too long, as you can see here. When we're trading on the stream, price was around here. Did see a nice push up, but the market is failing at that resistance. There was quite a few wicks there to the upside. What was that candle? Was that news yesterday or this morning? No idea what that was. So yeah, the market was bouncing this level. It's back at that level again. It's having a hard time to try and break through. So I would say buys still look good for USDJPY, but a better buy opportunity would now be if the market can break through that resistance there. That'll tell us, okay, buys are actually stepping back in, and buys on the top could look pretty good. You can look to buy down here, of course, we are trading at a pretty key level, bunch of wicks into that level now acting as support. But when you buy here, you do run the risk of the market seeing some upside, rejecting this level, continue to range, and maybe even breaking through the level as well and going deeper to the downside. We're also discussing price coming to this area here as well. So use JPY buys on top of this do look good. A nice impulsive breakout, retest. I do think the longs back to the high look pretty good at that point. The longs here look okay, but you've obviously got that barrier in the way, and that could prove to send the market back down again. So if you do break above it, I do think the probability of the trade will go up a lot higher. 131,500 look pretty good. 132,800 looks like a pretty good TP. And if USJPY does break lower, then like I said, this area here could be an area to buy from too, around 128,900. As you can see, really nice rejection here. Could provide a nice buy. This is where all of this momentum came from. This is the consolidation just before that, so we could see a nice reaction. We might not start a huge uptrend, but we might see, something like, let me just clean up the chart a little bit. We might see something like, bear with me. Okay, we might see something like this come into that range there on the left, tap into that level. Might see an up move, maybe retest that, and we could sell off again. But this move here could give you a nice little 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So yeah, that's more than enough for a trade there. Now, as traders, we're not particularly looking to understand where the market is going. We're just looking for good opportunities to buy and sell, and that could be a nice opportunity to buy and sell if we do get there, of course. And a break above that could be a nice opportunity there too. So keep an eye out for that for USJPY. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, so pound yen, we'll take a look next. Okay, just keep an eye on it, fair enough. Elena? Yeah, I'm so poor with names. I think it's Elena. But yeah, we just did use the JPY. Jade, exactly, waiting for a sell opportunity, but agree it's running out of short steam. Yeah, it is a little bit corrected now, so it might be looking to reverse, but depends on type of rejection we can get at those highs. It might be decent. I follow 6 pairs and then choose 2 max to trade at night. Okay. Oh, at night. Trade at night. So you pick the pairs at night, or do you specifically trade at night? I suppose it depends, where you're from. But yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense as well. You don't want to be too stretched with pairs you're looking to trade. I do trade a bunch of pairs, like 20 plus, 25 plus pairs I look at, Forex majors and minors, but I always, riddle it down to 5 pairs in my watch list every single week. So that's pretty much what I'm doing over the weekend. I will actually create a video of kind of my routine in the weekend actually, and the morning as well. Yeah, over the weekend, I normally whittle that down to about 5 pairs I'm focusing on the week. So I don't want to be looking at so many pairs, because that's how you can kind of confuse yourself and actually overtrade as well, because you just got so many opportunities. So yeah, having a nice little watch list definitely does help. Okay, so what pairs did I say I was going to look next? Pound yen. Okay, so we do have about 5 minutes left of the stream, so any last minute pairs, feel free to drop it down into the chat. And then before I do end the stream, I will go through my watch list for the remainder of the week. Okay, so pound yen, like I said earlier in the stream, this one is just a big mess. I don't really have a clear-cut bias for it. The market is in this range here between 155, 500 and 162. It's just kind of ranging in that area, and I don't have a clear-cut bias in terms of the highs and lows. There is no trend here for me to really bank on. Like I said earlier in the video, we're consistently making higher lows, and we're also making lower highs, which is not what I want to see. I want to see the market winning in one direction, either making higher highs or making lower lows and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. We're not really getting either of that. So I'm waiting for the market to start snapping through some highs or snapping through some lows. If you start doing that, then cool, I'll follow that momentum up. If you start breaking through some lows here, then cool, I'll start following that momentum to the downside. But right now for me, I'm treating this just as a range, and I do not trade range bound pairs. There's just nothing there for me. There could be a sell here. There could be a sell here because obviously we are creating these lower highs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be another one there. But if you do sell that, you're coming into an area where you could form another higher low. So it just contradicts itself. We could see another push like that. And again, as traders, we're not trying to guess where the market's going to go. We just want to get good trade opportunities, good setups. And from my analysis, from my trading, I don't deem that to be high probability. So I'll just be waiting for more information, breakout somehow, before I look at any type of opportunity for pound gem. So yeah, we'll be focusing on the NZD CAD, see if we can get some sells for this guy at that level. Hopefully we can get a retest in 0.855, get some entries around here-ish. And then I'll look for my sells. I also do have another entry level. So something like this. I also do have another one up here. So if you do come a little bit higher, not to worry. We'll still be looking for the shorts as well. Again, the important thing is waiting for the confirmations. Sometimes the market just absolutely explodes through a level. There's no confirmation. We don't do anything. It starts to reject. Cool. We'll start looking for entries to take it back down again. So yeah, NZD CAD, this is what I'll be looking for this one going forward. Obviously, Euro NZD, I'm in that one right now. This one is still pretty much at my entry price. Has not done anything here, so just have to sit tight and wait for the market to do what it wants to do. If it wants to break to the upside, that'd be very, very nice. But yeah, well, that's some good confluence, so we'll see what happens with this one. I'll keep you guys updated. Silver, looking for some more upside, so maybe the news could push up into this level, and then I'll look for some sell entries up here at 23.06, or this level up there as well. Euro pound, keep an eye on Euro pound. Got my alert there. You can see we're starting to roll over. I like how corrected this move is, so hopefully get a nice push there. Thank you so. Oh, Jade again, much appreciated. Much appreciated. Got a big fan. Thank you, Jade. Thank you. So yeah, for Euro pound, we're looking at longs there as well. 0.88500 there too. If I can get some entries down the hourly, be more than happy to start looking for some entries. Maybe you could get something later today if it does tap that level. NZD CHF, I'll keep an eye out for. This level in particular is where I'm looking at, 0.588. And then yeah, other than that, it gets a little bit cloudy. We have to wait for a lot of these pairs to develop. Yen pairs, I'm kind of waiting for them to develop a little bit better. Dollar pairs, like I said, gold and silver are my main levels, main dollar pairs I'm after. Then yeah, that's about it for me. But right now, I should be sitting in Euro NZD and seeing how this guy gets going. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for coming onto the stream. I will be live again later with Trade Nick and A1 Trading, so I hope I do see you all there. I will leave a link to that stream on my Telegram channel. But thank you so much for coming to the stream, everyone. Thank you so much, Jade, showing a lot of love there, much appreciated. Kindly repeat pound 80 chart. Okay, I'll go through it quickly since you asked so nicely. But yeah, we're looking at something like this to happen. So sells at 1.74700. You can see the lower highs were placing here. 1, 2. Potentially you can get another one there, and then potentially a sell-off. I did say it's quite corrective. So if it does, continue with that correction, I would start to probably hold back and probably wait to actually see if you can get the buys, because I do think the buys will be a lot better. We've got a key level here. If we do break through that, I do think the buys will be pretty good as well. But so far still in that bearish structure, so I have to favor sells up at that level. If you can get a nice little wick down the full H, probably get some nice sells back down again. Price just breaks straight through. Look for the retest to go along. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Thank you so much for coming onto the stream, everyone. If you haven't done already, check out the Telegram channel. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't done already as well, Miko Aodu at FX. My trading view link is in the description there too. I'll post the link to the stream later today. I hope I do see you guys later on. But other than that, take care, guys. Have a fantastic day. I'll catch you all hopefully later today.